Hey, what's up? Today I'm going to show how I put together my double page spreads here for my comic book series here that I illustrate. So as you can see, this is basically two 11 by 17 drawing boards that have been pieced together. So here's how I do it. I'm going to put this over to the side, and I guess I'll start by showing off the paper I use. I use Strathmore Bristol. This happens to be smooth, and the cool thing about this stock is that it is lined for pages. So if you're a comic book artist, this is particularly handy because it saves time. Because I don't have to rule any trim marks or borders or gutters. It's all done pre-printed on these pads here, which is really cool. I have done my own. I've used blank paper. And what I mean by blank is I've used stock that doesn't have any of that printed on it, but it's just super convenient to be able to have the option of everything being pre-printed for you. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take two sheets. One. And here's two. And you would think, okay, so you're gonna take two pieces of paper, and so we're just gonna butt them up right up next to each other. So what's handy about the paper here is because it is pre-ruled, as we can see here. There are some specific instructions on actually how to butt the pages up to each other. So let me zoom in here and show you, because this is actually kind of critical, because this entire sheet that's printed this way with the blue lines on them is very specific to the reduction, or I should say when you scan it in, how you reduce it, and it's supposed to fit to the standard US comic book size. But anyway, the special instructions at the bottom of the page here, of the sheet, and we'll see how close I can get in. Actually, I can get pretty close here, zooming in. So let's see, it says here at the bottom, let me brighten that up a little bit here. So it says instructions for double page spread. Cut on trim marks and abut page edges, tape on back, do not overlap. Okay, so the way we're going to do that here is it'll show you on the corner here, it's printed as well. It says right here, cut right hand page at this line. And then on the opposite side, and these sheets are all printed the same, so there isn't like a left side page and a right side sheet. And on the opposite side here of the sheet, same paper, says cut left-handed page at this line. You can see it here. There's trim that runs all the way here. So what I do is, let me zoom out, is I'm going to just say, okay, here's my left side and here's my right side. Left side, right side. So what I need to do is I need to trim this mark here all the way across, and trim on this trim mark here all the way across, all the way up. Okay? So, got to be safe about this. So what I have is a cutting mat. You can get something like this online on Amazon, no doubt. Probably go to Michael's, an art store. And I'm going to run this sheet pretty much diagonal, because that's going to give me the most amount of space, or I should say amount of runway here, so to speak. See, I have more space to kind of run off here. So what I'm going to use is a straight edge. I've got this stainless steel ruler. It's got like a backing on it. I think it's like a very thin cork board. It provides a little bit more grip. And what I'm going to do is line it up to that trim mark. Okay, so let's just zoom in there and take a quick look here. So as we can see here, got my page. Here's the trim right here, that dashed line right here. And just to confirm, again, that dashed line right here is telling us cut left-hand page at this line, that trim. So that's what that is. So that's what I'm going to do. So I guess what I'm doing is I'm cutting the left-hand page here. The other thing we need is an X-Acto knife. So I've got this utility knife here, and I'm going to carefully align the ruler with the trim mark, making sure that I'm placing the sheet over the cutting board here, so that way I don't damage my drawing board underneath. So bear with me for a second as I get this aligned just right. Because the other thing that you need to do is cut clearly across the entire page, which means we need to basically chop this part off. We're going to get it just as close as we can, as accurate as we can. And then once that's aligned, I'm going to go ahead and take hopefully one good, clean, smooth pull here up against the straight edge. And just like that, we have trimmed off one edge. And this is going to be the left-hand side, left-hand facing page. So as you can see here, this is definitely removed. It's been chopped off. That is scrap, recycle, whatever you want to do with that. So now, since this is clearly cut on the right side of the drawing board, that means this is going to be where the fold is on the 2-page spread. So this is actually the left-hand side. So now I'm going to take this sheet here. We're going to do the same thing, but on the left side of the sheet, because I'm going to lop off this side, and that's going to make the center where this folds, meaning this is on the right side. So essentially, this is the right facing page, I should say. And so if we were looking at it like the comic book, it would open up like this. So we're going to pull that off to the side. We're going to cut off this side of the drawing board. Align it with the trims with my straight edge stainless steel ruler here. Trying to get that to align as closely and as perfectly as I can. And then again, I'm going to take a good, clean, steady cut here using the self-healing cutting mat underneath. And usually that provides a pretty good, clean trim. There we go. So again, this has totally been cut off, trimmed off. So that's the right facing page, and this is the left hand page. And so this here is where you would butt the pages together. So they've been butted right up next to each other, just like that. So here's the paper side by side, left hand side and the right hand side. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to remove this cutting board from behind because I want to be able to lay the 2 sheets of paper flush on a flat surface here, my drawing board in this case. And if I zoom in here, check this out. This is what it looks like right in here. So let's just take the top, and we can see that where the live area is right here and where this live area is, they're the same distance. And just to kind of pull this back into the picture here. Check this out. Here's what we did. Here's the left side of this sheet. And here is the right side of this sheet here. So let me zoom out a little bit so we can see this here. So these are what the sheets look like when before they've been trimmed. Okay. So the reason why you need to do this is because there technically is no bleed on a centerfold to the center. In other words, the artwork just runs from left to right or right to left, however you want to think about it. And so this area here, this trim, we need to remove it. So that's what we've done. And when we put it together, the two sheets of paper like this, this is an entirely live area, edge to edge. Unlike this side, where if you were to draw something here, and if you were to run your artwork beyond this dashed line, that's going to be gone. It's going to be trimmed off by the cutter or the trimmer at the plant, the printer, when they're binding the book. Okay, in post press. And the same thing with this side here. So that's why it's important to account for that, especially with these pre-ruled blue line boards, comic book drawing boards, is you got to remove that gutter if you're going to use these boards. So now the last part to this is to just make sure that you tape the back, and I have a specific method that I like to do because it can be tricky when you're working with tape, especially if you screw up and you put the tape down kind of wonky and like it kind of shifts on you. So what I do is I take some Scotch tape here, or whatever the brand is, Caliber or something. Just get some, transparent tape. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't have to technically be transparent, I guess. But what I like to do is I like to start on either end of the edge here where they meet, and I like to take my tape and run it this way. So the length of the tape will run perpendicular to the where the pages have been abutted, where they've been butted edge to edge, and I'll just repeat that over on this end. I'm going to take this out of the shot for right now, but trust me, it's going down up here. Okay, I'm doing this because I need to make sure that I align everything nice and flush, and for just a second it's going to be out of the view of the lens here. All right, so there we go. I did place that piece of tape there, as you can see. And then from here, what I can do, what this allows me to do is it allows me to align the sheets squarely, top, bottom here. And then I can, on the back, with like maybe two longer strips, I can place tape here, just like that. And take another piece here, kind of measure it up just enough. For me, it doesn't have to run completely, like cover up the gap. I'm not too worried about it. Place it just like that. And I now have the artboard ready to draw on. And it's going to be, it's very secure here, and it folds. And yeah, I'm ready to ink, ready for the next page. So that's how you tape up two pieces of drawing board. Comic book pre-ruled with this blue line on here. In this case, it's the Strathmore brand. Canson, I think is the other brand that makes another kind of drawing board. Very similar, just a different brand. But yeah, I like using these blue line, pre-printed, ruled out with blue line for drawing my comic book artwork. Anyway, pretty simple. That's how you do it. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, give it a like, give it maybe a comment if you have any questions. If not, hey, catch you in another video. Thanks for watching.